Hey, it's Shop Mix. You're listening to another episode of Shop Talk Show. As you can see, if you're tuning into the YouTube, this is my hair. It's still growing.
It's coming pretty chia petty still. Yeah, it's starting to lay down a little bit, right? No, or did
can
you
I
have to
have
force
you
it?
perform a quick Google search here
Okay, yeah.
for Monchhichi?
Monchhichi.
Are you
Can do.
familiar with the
I'm
Monchhichi?
not, but it came right up here in my Kagi search. Oh, wow. It's uncanny.
Chris, put up an image there. It's wild, dude. It just keeps going.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is this? Are these hot now? Like what is the Labubus? Are you on? You got
No.
a Labubu?
Well, yeah.
We got one, and then it turned out to be a knockoff, and it was still like $30.
We actually, my daughter's into them. We have not scored one. I downloaded the app and I was like, I can't figure this out. So
Yeah.
don't tell her. Her birthday's coming up. A neighborhood kid figured it out for us. So I now owe a 12-year-old a whole bunch of
Yeah.
thank yous. And
Yeah. Come
I
by
don't know.
here on Halloween, kid. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, there's one kid in the neighborhood just super good at claw games and, and anything that requires sort of like I don't know, like kind of rigid dedication to get a deal. You know, it's weird.
Okay.
She's got a knack for it, and she delivered.
Yeah.
So I can't complain.
This is amazing. If these get, maybe these Monchichis are already really popular, but I could see you walking down the street and having like little kids like crane their necks, being like, "Why do I know that guy?" You know?
Yeah, I saw one at a store the other day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I look exactly like." This guy. It's like, oh, that's why. I remember. I look.
It makes me want one, little Dave.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll order one up. They got
It's a
all
little
the,
chubbier cheeks than me. I mean, I'm not slender, but it is a little chubbier. So,
yeah, but they make up for it in their youthful exuberance.
well, you finished another trip around the sun. You got any advice for all of us here?
Oh, that's true. I have. Oh, that's fun. I do keep a little list of those like fun little life advice things, but I don't think I'm anywhere near 45, and I'm gonna try to save them up a little longer. No, I don't have any freaking advice. Are you kidding me? Don't be like me. There's some advice.
Yeah.
So make the same mistakes I did.
Tie your shoes. Find an exercise you like. Those are things. Yeah.
Absolutely excellent. Yeah. Let's see, man. What was I gonna say? Have you seen Random yet? That's fun. I was pretty enamored by it. I can't believe. Like I heard it was
CSS
coming.
random. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's been spec'd for a minute, I think. I don't know if even that's the right word or what. But, I just thought, oh, yeah, it makes a random number. They'll probably, like, take two values, and it makes a random number between them. And that's pretty much what it does. But it really struck me how powerful it is not in a preprocessor all of a sudden. I was like, this freaking rules. This is great.
I get all these, cards. Cards are cards. And then people are like, I got an idea. I'm going to stack the cards on top of the cards. And you're like, okay, cool. But like, wouldn't it be cool? Just random little shuffle, and every time you show up, the shuffle's a little different, like that's cool to me.
Even if it's not different, it's like, at least you didn't have to like think about it. At least you didn't have to like calculate it perfectly or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. It's just fun.
Rotate random 1, 3, and it just either goes 1 or to 3 or 5 degrees left or right, or negative
Easy,
5,
dude.
negative
Easy.
5,
And let's say you had 52 cards, for example. Well, in SAS, that means 52 nth child selectors, 52 random numbers generated once that are the same every time you refresh the page. Not really that fun random. New CSS, it's just one selector. And it just does them all. Yeah, and if I was messing with it earlier, and I guess it's not terribly surprising, but if you like clone the element real quick and then like pull off the old one, put the clone in real fast, the randomness is regenerated.
Oh, so you like
get
glitching it, kind of like a little.
And then you can do a start view transition wrapper, and then it'll animate to the new random value.
I wonder if you could maybe instead of like killing the element, you could just kill the border and or like transparent it or something, or like
I tried tricking it various ways, and it wasn't having it.
It like does the parse evaluation sort of step. All like
I think
CSS
so,
is
yeah.
weird. It like condenses the parse rules. Yeah. Okay.
You can't even display none and display block it or anything.
Yeah,
That's like, no, that number's already calculated. Sorry, yo. You really do need to like force a full
Tear
recalc on that
and-
bad boy. But it worked. It was a little glitchy, but it's pretty early days. It's only in Safari Technical Preview. So Safari was first out with it, but it's beautiful. I can imagine using it in all kinds of things. Speaking of cards, like what if
what
you
CSS
had like
crimes are we committing here? Let's go down the list. Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing the nasty ones, but also the chill one. I like your stack idea is nice. I like the like what if the colors were just a little different on each card?
You know,
not drastically different, but you tweak the green value between like 50 points or whatever.
You know what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to make those Git graphs, like the branches and stuff like that with CSS. And I actually
the branches. Oh my gosh,
and
really?
So, and I was having trouble, dude. I was like, oh, this isn't fun. And then, of course, Ahmad Shadid article about it. It was just like, I could just use border. And I don't have to like draw a line, rotate, and do all this stuff. Anyway, drawing a line. Well, a good Git graph like changes colors as you branch, right? And so I was just like, what if I could now use random to like do a hue rotate or something on the color, that I'm trying to put in there.
Sure.
That would be cool, right? So,
you could, to programmatically change the color. I always find that highly satisfying,
Yeah.
Just rotate it a little bit.
Yeah, but
hue rotate. All right, well, that's fun. There's a couple of keywords that you should know in there that's fun. If you so you could say like random between anything, 20% and 80%. 0 and 100 unitless, 1,000 pixels and 2,000 pixels, whatever. As long as the unit is the same on the two numbers, it's fine. But as a first parameter, I could go --Dave, our favorite thing in the world, the custom ident, right?
Custom ident,
the custom ident then locks it at that like DOM level that --Dave will evaluate to the same number twice, which is relevant. In the blog post, they use it for width and height. So it'll still be a random number. It'll just be the same random number for that one element. Then the next element can be a new random number, but the height and width will be the same because it's the same custom ident. You know what I mean? So that's how you'd make like a square or something. So that's cool. Or you could say match -element, comma, and then the two values. And match element means that, let's say there's 1,000 .daves or .boxes or .cards on the page. It will randomly generate, but then it will share that random number between all of them, if that's relevant to you somehow. So I think that's really well considered, right? Like I want a random number, but I don't want it randomly generated 1,000 times for 1,000 cards. I want it to be random once for all the cards. So that's how you do that. And then you can combine them too. So you can say match element and --Dave, and it'll share them against the element and at the DOM level thing. And was a hard mouth blog, but it's cool to know, like, I want randomness, but I want to like lock it in sometimes.
Yeah,
you have the kind of the power to do that, which is nice. And then the very last parameter is the step. So it can be like between 100 pixels and 1,000 pixels, stepped by 100 pixels.
Okay.
Which is cool.
So the step is the last number. Okay.
Yeah, and it really gets really floaty. Like even if you said between 1 and 5 pixels, I think it will generate like 3.872 pixels. Like you almost don't want that. If you're trying to, even if you do pixels at all, you should probably make the last parameter 1 pixel so it doesn't do sub-pixel crap. Anyway, looks good to me. The Safari implementation is fine.
Yeah.
I bugged it out a little bit, but good job. I'd love to see this drop everywhere. Pretty cool.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm just kind of like, what could I even use this for? I mean, on the blog post, they use like a star field, and like, I just recently like did like a little snow animation and stuff and like rain and trying to place it, and so you kind of have to like pre-generate those values. What if I don't, like,
what if you don't? Anything that's noisy, anything. I think the use cases for this are going to be just a ton.
Yeah.
I think the same thing about shape too. People are going to use the crap out of that as that starts to drop everywhere. It's already in both Safari and Chrome.
To do your glitch thing, right? Like, what if you did a linear animation and it's just random, like 50 randoms, and so the element you're like whatever animate the width, somewhere on this linear path, to from 1 to 1, but there's a bunch of randoms in there, and then it like just messes with the size or whatever on hover or skew or some crap on hover and stuff like that.
Yeah, amazing. Ship it.
Fun.
We know what's nice is that the API is so simple. It's random as a function that like you can find all these existing random demos where people do that in CSS preprocessors and even JavaScript implementations, and then the porting of them is very easy to do, which I think is a strong indicator that the API is strong,
Yeah, I'm going to write down this random demo so no one steals this before this episode comes out. I'm going to gotta work on
Make
this.
sure you do it.
Yeah, so
talk about a fun thing,
glitch button. All right, we got it.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
Another one on my mind is is just view transitions. Generally, again, I was looking at your blog post where you like rightfully wrote this down real quick. Remember, you have a blog post that's just like how to do the page style ones, which you've kept up to date, thankfully, because it did change over time.
Yeah.
You now have to put @view-transition as like a @ rule on your page to opt into them. But I was trying to do like, unfortunately, this is going to be a dumb podcast segment because I was trying to do it live and I just could not remember. Like, let's say your goal is a full page slide. What do you do? Yeah, it's super not intuitive to me. Like which pseudo elements you do, and do you need 2 keyframes or just 1 or what? And it was it was a little unfortunate. I almost think that like the JavaScript API, the start view transition one, is a little more intuitive because you're like, it's a callback, change the DOM in the callback, and then things will change. Whereas as soon as you start needing that like DOM tree of pseudo elements, I'm sure you've seen that little diagram. There's view transition, just : view transition. Then there's : view transition group, and : view transition root, and : view transition item, and then old and new. Yeah. And then sometimes you append like an only child to it to get the outgoing ones only, and yada yada. It's like, oh my gosh, it's not a problem. It's just not. Sometimes you look at an API and you're like, they did what they could there, but I don't know that they get an A+ on that API.
I do think like I think you could even do it now. Like there's going to be a line between like a skill line, like between who can like really do this and who kind of just is doing like a whatever swap fade or whatever. Not like it's like a, I just, the people who are good at it are going to get good at it. Like they're going to have tricks, even just like growing like in a photo on the homepage into the background masthead or whatever, what is the Sarah Drasner layout on CSS Tricks where she kind of did all these view transition, VUE transitions.
Yeah, VUE. Yeah, that's right.
Transitions.
They were one of the first frameworks to allow that nicely.
Yeah, so if you could build those demos or build those, like I just feel like you're gonna have a skill that not everyone has because you can do all that.
It's
I think people don't
more
understand it yet.
than you want it to be. Yeah,
like
they don't. Sid Stumple. That's who you need to look up.
Sid Stumple.
CYD. Sid Stump EL. She rocks at these things. She's who you're describing.
Exactly. Well, there you go. Yeah, pros. We need pros. Oh, there. I'm already sold. This is good. Oh yeah, swapping around and matrixing and perspective rotate. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
See, this is it. Like this is people who like can do it are going to be good. So and
totally
then like
agree.
on scroll, we got some scroll stuff happening too, like scroll animations. Anyway, I think how many developers do you know who are like, I super care about the IDs because that allows me to connect this ID to this ID on a different page. 0 developers care about that. So
yeah,
I feel like you can really.
I saw a thread about that this morning about IDs. It was like Noam, I think he's a Chrome guy, right? Who's kind of saying that they have proof that 45% of all HTML loads in Chrome, I guess, have
Duplicate
multiple
IDs.
duplicate IDs. So he's just like, you know what, we need to just, that's not, slow clap for that one, everybody. Good job. That we can't, like, let's just stop with us telling people that that's the way. I don't know that you ever can, because it's not like you can change how query or like get element by ID works. It gets the first one. Like, you can't change that. So I don't know what is the what you would change about the web platform if we decided to loosen up the idea that things can have multiple IDs.
There's been like Alice Boxhall at Gallia has been asking about kind of like what's your problems with ID, and I think Hidey's been kind of on it, some other people as well.
Oh,
but
really? This is a hot topic, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, because it touches ARIA, right? Like, that's Alice's sort of specialty is like accessibility. But, you know, part of the reason we have that is because you have input, ID, whatever, text name, your name, and then you have label for your name, you know, and so
you 4 attributes for sure, right?
You link those up, but you know, I think, you know, I was just looking at the WebAIM 1
Isn't
million,
ARIA labeled by is ID connected to? And...
Yeah, ARIA labeled by, ARIA described by. You know, we're getting into like anchors and named idents and things like that. You know, those are
there's
popovers
hash links and URLs,
hash links. Like a lot of stuff sort of leverages IDs. You know, but you know, I'm looking at WebAIM million from this year. You know, it's like 48% are missing labels, right? So like we've messed up labeling. You know, so anyway,
yeah, that's one of the worst ones too, because I just have seen it firsthand over and over. You know, using a screen reader to look at a form specifically with unlabeled inputs, you're freaking hosed. You don't know what goes in the input. It's such a disaster.
It might as well just be like, you know, sometimes it'll read the placeholder as the label, but that's not always, you know, or you can like dig in and get it, but that's not always, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I just like, anyway, so there's this talk of like maybe there's like this concept of refs or something, sort of like in React, or Fast has these as well, but it's just basically like a component level ref, you know, where you can just be like, this is the input, so like it's labels the input, and this is described by, or this describes the input.
You can have duplicate refs, but isn't that the same problem? You could, because it would it be like DOM tree scoped or something?
Yeah, like you'd probably need some like, I don't know. I'm making stuff up like scope ref, you know, sort of thing. Yeah. Like the scope starts and ends here, you know. So, but I don't, you know, I think the idea is kind of in
just what we need, more attributes. Yeah,
more attributes solve everything. Historically, they have caused zero problems. Just look at how good I am at autocomplete and pattern.
Right.
I know how those work.
Yeah, pattern. How did that ship? Unbelievable. This follows that old trick, right, where you write a dumb little blog post. It was just on my mind this I think it was in the Discord. I was throwing it around being like, I want a URL where you can put in the URL something that opens one of many details elements on a page, Dave. And so what are you going to do? My first thought was like, it was in PHP because it's like a WordPress page I was working on. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just put the hash in the URL, and then I'll grab the hash. And if the hash matches one of the IDs on the page, I'll just put the open attribute on the details. Fine. But you don't get that. Maybe you can explain it. You've old, I don't know, use your Ruby on Rails brain. I don't know what it is, but why don't you get the hash server side? You can't have it. It's not available to you server side. The query parameters are, but the hash is not. The server just doesn't get it. It's just not there.
Interesting.
Is it like do they not want you to have it there? Is it a spec level thing? I don't know what it is, but you can't. So this technique is out because you can't get the hash.
Oh,
on PHP anyway.
I thought like maybe something's brokered. I thought you could get that, but it's called something different because it's not like a query param. It's like,
well, you certainly can have it in JavaScript. It's just window.location.hash.
.hash, but PHP has
fragment? But I think it like doesn't even come in the request. Like you look at the request and it's just not there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know if I'm right. If I'm wrong, then I'm super ignorant. And please blue sky me about this, people. Podcast, all these podcasts you listen to, like, don't email me about this. We don't get any freaking emails about dumb crap we say. Once in a blue moon, please email me about this. I would love it.
Just email me. Don't email me. I won't email you for like 9 months.
Yeah, don't email Dave.
Don't email me. Bad at email over here. So don't. Yeah. Not the guy. That's
I'm
the
opposite.
guy. Yeah.
I love it. So, what was I going to say? So that's out, but it's also like 5 lines of JavaScript, Dave. You just say like, if no.location.hash, yes, okay, then get the hash, then query selector for the ID of that hash. Yeah. If it finds it, then add the open attribute. It's like not a lot of JavaScript.
Bingo, bongo, yeah.
But still, it's like, do you want to do that? It's still a little JavaScript, which means it's subject to whatever other bullshit. Anyway, so what I did instead, or I think it was Andy Bell in the Discord, tells me if you hash link to something inside the details element, not the details element itself, but something else in there, in the URL, the browser will open it. It will open the one that it needs to open.
So like a hidden anchor or something inside?
Well, I just wrap all the crap in a div, just the guts of it in a div. And I put the ID on that and linked to it, and it worked fine. And I tested Chrome, and it worked, and Safari, and it worked, and Firefox, and it worked. And then I blogged it, and then I got way more attention than I thought it would, mostly because people found various browsers where it doesn't work in. So it's not like perfect coverage, but I think it's relatively newly rolling out. So I think if you have the very latest of stuff, it works. And then iOS, it didn't. So then I ended up putting a little JavaScript in there anyway to do it. I think it will eventually come to all browsers, but I thought it was kind of nice. But some of the discussion then was like anti-magic or something. Like, how would you know that works in HTML? Like, are you okay with stuff that just like has behavior like that's almost inscrutable? Like you just have to know somehow magically that works.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's weird. Or it's weird that like different browsers would have different behaviors there. So
yeah, well, I mean, if it's a new, because I think it is in the spec somewhere. So okay, yeah. I don't know. It's a weird line how specs in something like URLs are entwined, because like URLs are their own spec. So it's weird when the HTML spec says URLs of this shape affect HTML in this way. It's like a weird crossing of the streams or something that is weird to me.
Yeah.
But, and then, we know that it gets weird. Like, what is that? The URL format for like highlight this piece of text is like bonkers.
Colon, squiggly, text, colon, squiggly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, no one knows what, again, I know what that is. Just, obviously I remember that every time I need it, Yeah. And so, yeah. No, that's
nice.
That would be a good post too. Is just like weird URL behaviors, just, anchor going to the element on the page is like a feature,
Yeah. That's
URL features. And then like anchor within a details, we'll go to the details. I'm trying to think of like if there's anything else.
Didn't Jim have a post on weird link behavior recently? That was anchor links. Yeah. That was anchor links instead of URLs. But it's like, what is it's almost should be one of those quiz. What is an anchor link with just 2 quotes? href equals quote quote. What is that supposed to do? Do you like definitely know what it does? Because it does something. It links to the same page that you're already on, but it has a curious behavior, Dave. It removes the query parameters when you do that.
Yeah.
And little stuff like that.
Eric Bailey, of course, Eric Bailey, always Eric Bailey, had a really good, can I send you a thing? How do I do this? Studio chat. Here we go. He had a good post about like anchor link behaviors, and I turned it into like a little table in CodePen. And
oh, nice.
I guess I could pull it up, huh? Show it in the browser. Show it actual.
Yeah, I can't picture it. I want to see it.
Let me.
Ooh, this will be a cool moment, so I can shame you for not using the new editor.
How do I do screen or presentation? I don't want to share my whole screen. That probably has work secrets in it. Let's see here.
You do screen, and then there's a tab for window.
Okay. What did I do? Screen. Okay, tab for window, and then I go allow, and then I go here. And
now you're gonna have to restart. Okay. Ooh, no, you don't have to
Okay. So where is that tab now?
I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, now I'm in. So, you just had this whole thing where it's like, like Shift Enter in Windows on Blink, like Chrome. It opens a new window.
This is a whole new world I didn't even think about.
Gecko. What happens? Opens a window. Mac opens a window.
Oh.
WebKit. Womp womp. Adds URL to reading list. Opens URL in background. Opens URL in the new tab. And so the behaviors of those function keys, the control enter option, plus clicking and plus entering, do different things across browsers.
I hate it.
So it is literally, Christopher, impossible to replicate a link with a div because you are not accounting for all of this stuff.
Oh, that's kind of a good takeaway from this, is that if when you try to like fake behaviors, there's just no way. Yeah.
Like adding to reading list, you can't do. So,
yeah.
Like downloading, probably can't do it, No, do nothing. You can do, I guess. But anyway,
that's amazing.
Pretty awesome, isn't it? Just the wonderful world of HTML. Anyway, there's
Well, that's cool.
It's
Well, speaking of browsers, I'm in Edge right now, so you got me going on that. That's
there you go. Cool. You got that split screen going. Bing boom.
Yep, that's probably my favorite feature of Edge at the moment, and the Riverside works in it. I like that feature of it too.
That software you pay for works. I still don't. I wish I still knew why it didn't work. Like I still want a console log that says, because of this specific API, we cannot use the media capture 802.15 RFC.
Oh, that would be baller. Are you listening, Riverside? Yeah, I know that you're absolutely not. But if you were, that would be a baller move. On the page that says that it doesn't work, put a little details element, a little like nerd alert one that says why, as like a little shaming of the browser or whatever. Actually, or who is that fault? I mean, it's in a way, it's a little tempting to blame Rivers. You ship the product that only works in one browser. But maybe in this case, I almost shame the browsers. Like I'm almost sure that there's some kind of API that really is at the heart of Riverside's functionality that they just don't have.
Yeah, like, what was the one? What's the thing where the encrypted media extension, like if you don't pay for Google's whatever Mediavine or some tool like
isn't that? Yeah, that's right. Isn't it? It's like Firefox forks can't like play YouTube or something or something like
Netflix or some like Netflix, there was a time. I think it's all been.
I don't think it is. I think it's
really?
Not. Yeah, I think there's still some browsers that have troubles, but I don't know what they are anymore. So I could be wrong. I will say I'm on Firefox now. I know I have Edge open, but made my daily. I know I have like a browser update of the week, but I probably will for a while because I bounce around like a little crazy person in browsers. Zen is excellent. It is. I thought I was going to be annoyed that it's Firefox because I'm just so Chrome pilled or whatever. Firefox is great. It's really nice. There's just like a feel to browsers, like a texture or something about how stuff works, like how text is rendered and how it's selected and how fast it loads and the features and stuff. Firefox is just smooth. There's something just nice about it, I think. And I find their dev tools totally usable. Unlike Safari, unfortunately. They're not as good as Chrome. I mean, Chrome, you can't beat it. They have freaking excellent dev tools. They're the best. But I'm not totally annoyed with Firefoxes to the point like, this is fine. And now that it's Zen, and Zen is very close to Arc, a few little rough edges, but it's an excellent browser, so I'm very happy on Zen. I can imagine staying here. The one I was almost convinced by this week was the Shift browser, which has actually been around a long time. And it was kind of like I think it was one of the first browsers that's like, I'm just going to have this skinny sidebar and just put like, look at Shift. They had this skinny sidebar of like, put Slack over there, put your work apps over there. And then your browser will like look like work or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. That I was not compelled by that terribly, it wasn't that cool. But now I think what they realized is we built a customizable UI on top of browsers. We could make it like really customizable. Like Vivaldi does this kind of too, right? Like a super customizable UI. But they have one now where you can just pick the one that looks like Arc. So I'm like, oh, sick, really? I'll use that. And Shift is Chrome.
Wow.
So that could get me back, but I tried it and I was like, it's not quite art,
Yeah. I heard somebody say they need to work on their scroll performance on their website. Sorry. Rude. I'm being rude, but if you're going to sell a browser, it better be better.
What do you think it is? Can you just tell by smelling it? Not hard to know. Well, speaking of React, there was a good Wes Boss tweet the other day, or Blue Sky or something, where the React itself's website had some carousel thing on it that just had the worst performance ever. But it wasn't React. Yeah. It was that somebody put on there transition, and then they just put like a number, like 0.25 seconds or whatever. And then the implication is that's transition all properties. That can really bite you in the butt, because then if there's like a box shadow on something, then you're transitioning a potential box shadow too, which is the worst performance ever. I think that's what it ended up being. So when you're trying to transition just like the offset or the rotation or something, say which thing you're trying to transition.
Yeah. I'll give a pass to React. Sorry. It doesn't appear to be React. It was Lottie. Lottie is awful. If you're using Lottie, if your designers are using Lottie, tell them to stop. It is not good. I can give you data to back up this claim. It's not good. Anyway, sorry. I feel like it was like hey, cool, look, check this out. We can do it. And then it's like, cool, productize it, sell it. And then now it's like, oh, but it's not good. It's like, man, I'm sorry. Vehement about it. It's not great. Get off of it. That's all I'm going to say. But it's Lottie plus Tailwind. That's what's going on there. So I saw somebody the other day say, let me start that over without swallowing. I saw somebody the other day say like Zen, they love Zen browser, and they're like, this should just be Firefox. And I was kind of like, I don't know, what do you think about that? If Firefox was like, let's just steal Zen. Let's facelift Zen.
Yeah, it was me that said that I love Zen, and then I linked up this guy's post, Ben something I think, and he said that, and I was like, what? Yeah, because I thought the same thing about Arc. I'm like, I get that it's like sort of for power users or whatever, but like, is it really? Like, couldn't you polish this such that it's just these features are just better? There was so many smart things that Arc did, and I was like, I could see like, why didn't Chrome just do some of this stuff? These are excellent features, and you can tell internally they are looking at stuff. There's a feature flag for split tabs and stuff like that. They are looking at it. But I remember when Arc started, they said the reason we can do this and Chrome can't is because there's certain features in here. We don't have
users.
That's probably the real answer, I'm afraid to say. Yeah. But no, it was more like sneaky than that. It was that everything Chrome has to do has to get you to a Google website. Like that search bar, for example, that is forever going to take you to google.com for a search. Sure, you can strong hand a way out of it. You can change your default search engine stuff, but they know that most people don't. And stuff like that. And then one of the early features of Arc was, how it's everything you do through like the command bar kind of thing. Like you just go to do a new tab and you get this thing right in the middle of the browser window that was then I start typing in Dave Rupert. It doesn't take me to Google. It will if it has to, but it had this algorithmic fuzzy search kind of thing. And if I had a Dave Rupert tab open and I type Dave, the first option is going to be just move to the Dave Rupert tab that's already open. Yeah. And Chrome would never do that. Never.
Yeah.
And so they were making choices that Chrome would never make.
No, yeah, I think that's like probably astute. Just like it really was like a Chrome in theory, makes more money if you open a new tab and end up at a Google search for Dave Rupert.
Not theoretically, very definitely.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah.
Who is camping out on Dave Rupert? Who's buying AdWords for Dave Rupert? Now I got it.
Yeah. That'd be good. I had a nasty one yesterday. I just did I was trying to get to ChatGPT or whatever, and I typed ChatGPT, and there was a sponsored link at the top that looked exactly like it.
Brad Frost, Scott Tolinsky buying AdWords on my name.
All of them?
I'm just kidding. I'm lying.
Actually, that would be freaking hilarious. Makes me want to do it right now.
Would that be
wait,
funny?
I don't see ads because I use Kaggy, and it's great.
That's going to be my new... I am on some website, apparently, I never signed up for, called Muckrack. That's cool. Yeah, cool. I guess it's a PR bullshit. Okay, cool. Get me off of there. Anyway.
Out of here.
Kidding. Yeah, yeah. Browsers are interesting. I have a tab story related to Chrome and tabs. I installed a plugin. I have a bad habit, Chris, a very bad habit, where I open up when I'm bored. It's a dopamine ADHD thing. So picture me in a meeting that's going a little long. Alert, dopamine threshold getting low. And so my brain says, I need more stimulation than this meeting. Command T, YouTube. Boom, I'm in. Now I'm on YouTube. Oh, but I'm in a meeting. I can't actually watch YouTube. So, that's interesting. Command click. That's interesting. Command click. That's interesting. Command click. That's interesting. Command click. 50 tabs later, meeting's over. I now have a weekend's worth of videos to watch for the rest of the workday. Not good, right? Not good.
Right. And the tabs are your problem. They're your enemy here.
Well, now it becomes that psychology thing where it's like, oh, I got to clear out the tabs, or, oh man, I got all these tabs. I can't focus, So it becomes this like, now I've messed up my dopamine. Now I have too much stimulation and I'm wrecked. And so I installed a plugin this week that was it's called Tab Limiter, but it's basically just like, you can set how many tabs you have open for a website. So like for Blue Sky and Elk and which is my Mastodon client, and for YouTube I set it to like 1 tab. So if I try to open a new YouTube tab while I'm on YouTube, it'll just close it out. Just closes it out. Boom, nukes it. It was same with Blue Sky. I can't like open 2 Blue Sky tabs because I don't like.
It's like you already got one of those, buddy.
Yeah, and so it's been like this really interesting like focusing. Like I'm kind of like now like, oh, okay, cool. I have to work
Hopefully
within
it
the
works.
system.
You think the first time where you're like, no, I actually need that tab open. Thanks, it's gone. No,
it's working. I'm abiding in the system, and so far it's good. It's like I did think there's like this what if a coworker sends me a link and I have to watch it or something, or breaking news or something I need to go watch, but I can say goodbye to all the other dumb videos I queued up because I didn't really, so I don't need that anymore. So yeah. It's browsing habits, right? Browsing habits. Somebody had said, I think it was Brian Cardell, like a browser is really just a collection of like a million user preferences, like it's really just this like big machine that you can customize and add all these user preferences, and and then its whole goal is to render a web page at 60 FPS. I think that's Eric Myers,
and I think
person scroller.
It was also Brian who was saying like how much power they have and how he'd probably be a little abhorred at what a floozy I am with different browsers. I'll browse on whatever, baby. Give me it, and I think that it's a little dangerous, like speaking of things that just probably know a lot about you and have all the power in the world to track any of that is the browser itself.
Yeah, no, it unfortunately does. I mean, like, and you see glimpses of it too. It's like, and I don't know, you ever like open an algorithm page, I get like MSN tabs because I'm connected to them, but like, and you see the algorithm they generate for you, and you're like, yeah, that one kind of is true, like that. I understand how you got that one, but I'm offended you picked this one. Like, it's like, how'd you think I'm like even into this topic, like, I don't know, like tornadoes or something,
even have an account. It just knows.
Oh, it just ambient kind of But I think it's like you turn that on. But anyway, I just like it's this funny like it'll happen to like at YouTube where it's like, how do you think I like this? Like, why? Like you're sending me like I don't know Charlie Kirk videos or something. And I'm like, oh, this is not. I don't want this. Don't send me this. So.
Well, you remember when our government disbanded 18F and USDS and all that? That was stupid, right? And we're all like, "Oh, neat, good, yeah, that's great, good job." These companies, these organizations that do digital design for the government, who have demonstratively done excellent work for the people of our country, and we're like, why? Oh my God, to save 50 cents, that's, as far as the government is concerned, that you have more than squandered in other ways. Oh, it just makes me so mad. Of course, then they're like, you know what? You know what this country needs? So they published this thing the other day, improving our nation through better design. We're going to put together a group of people, amazing designers, to improve America with digital design. You're like, you fired all those people.
You
really the
fired
best
them.
ones. You
They
did
were
that.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, makes me angry.
Yeah.
But there's a pretty good website, americabydesign.fail, that really pokes a lot of fun at it. They should.
Oh, I need to. Yeah, it was America by Design was the thing, and had a lot of divs and spans, right? Like, anyway, a lot of yeah, it was the tech under the hood was not great. It was anyway.
Right. So it's americabydesign.gov is the one that's like, there's the executive order. It's great. And the .fail variety is, yeah, I don't know. It's an excellent parody, let's say.
Yeah. Well, it just is the, I guess not to get too political, but it's this like, I think this can happen to anyone in a company, or like you're looking from the outside. Oh, if I got in there, I could fix it, like, oh, I'm going to cut costs and get rid of these woke nerds, who are like designing, and then you're like, wait, we need that, and I think, I think you can like get into a place where you think like, if I just come in and I can wreck shop and change how it's done, then it'll be better. But you don't understand, like, come in and, oh, Social Security software's written in COBOL. We should modernize it. It's like, yeah, the people who have been working there have been asking for that for decades, like they've been telling you, but the budget just never shows up, like, and then like the design stuff, it's like, oh, we're going to save money. It's like the whole point of like 18F and US WDS was just like to save money, to like be like, don't go off and procure a whole thing to do a design, just use our design system. And like the whole thing was like, hey, if you're going to procure a government contract to build an app, let us consult so we can make sure it gets done and delivered and doesn't like do the whole like whatever.
It was theoretically aligned with
situation.
Exactly your thing, It reminds me of the like, not that developers are like big brain perfect or whatever, but I like the idea of that. It comes from programming. When you look at some code that you don't understand, you can think of it like a fence in the real world, right? Don't tear down the fence until you know why the fence is there.
Yeah, Chesterton's fence. It's just, you got to understand why did they build that fence, and why does it exist, and what's it do, and how can we make it better from here? So, and the answer may be nuke it and start over. That's actually fine. Like that's maybe an outcome, but like you got to get there. You got to take people along that journey.
Right. And do you think round 2 it has the potential of getting the best designers behind this thing? It reminds me of like somebody does a bad job and the guy shoots him in the head or something, and then the next guy comes along and be like, hey, you want that job?
Yeah, probably not. Huh?
Yeah, I didn't like what happened to the last guy, They all lost their freaking jobs. So
yeah, I mean, I think you attract a particular applicant base, You've biased the hiring pool a bit, So
yeah.
So
whatever. Lots of good people, including some in our own Discord. High five, y'all, doing digital design work for the government and doing a fine job at it. So
I think it's an awesome public service, if you're very public service minded and want to go into it, it's on like 18F would have been on like a list of companies I would want to work for or do a tour of duty, because I feel like I feel passionate enough about like making a government that works,
Right.
So,
Yeah. Like I can't, they would have never let me in the military. Not that that's a good choice, but some people think of it in that way. Like, I'm going to do mine for my country and then whatever, let them pay for my college.
that's a cool one. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to get too political too, but it did make me mad. I feel like
Well,
it's worth mentioning.
don't, it felt like somebody like threw away an iPhone and then said, we should make phones that connect to the internet.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. That's part of the deal. Is like you don't pretend like you invented this concept, because you're way behind and you're going to do it worse.
I was attending talks about this in 2010. I think, I have memories, So,
Right.
yeesh. Well, hey, should we round
We got to do
this
we
out?
got to do a question show one of these days, because they're starting to pile up a little bit. So maybe we'll do that next week.
I did. I went through my inbox and I saw questions. So thank y'all for writing in. We'll do a question show next time, maybe.
Yeah,
So,
I can always tell when Dave checks his email. Like, get a couple little flurry there for a minute, and then
Yeah, you're like, oh, he must be his quarterly check-in, and you're like, yep, yep, replying to something from 70 weeks ago, but that's fine.
yeah, nice.
That Brad Frost ad we did, man, that was great. A couple months ago, that was a good email thread. Glad I tuned into that in late August. So that's
all
good.
right. That's why. Well, we all get a log, but I sent a good one to Brad this morning. Actually, we're big emailers with the Bradley.
Good for you guys.
All right. Good for you.
Good for you guys with your responsible email habits. It's not my fault. I read a productivity book that said, don't check your email so much. And I took that advice to heart. And I don't check my email ever now. So there you go. Look how productive I am.
No, I heard.
Yeah,
I think it was Mr. Scott on over on Syntax who said he's got he does it morningly, which I was like, that's probably works fine. It kind of probably depends on what your job is and what you're able to. Not that I'm perfect, but I check it, 75,000 times a day, maybe, and usually there's nothing in there. But it's not because I don't get any emails, because I rip it out, baby, because I love it. I don't know. I've always been attracted to it, and
I put my work email as a to-do. Like that's a time blocked 15-minute, 30-minute event. Like it's like for work. Personal, not so much. Long day, don't want to do that. So
yeah, fair enough.
I should probably do better. So whoa, got spooky.
Scared me.
All right.
I did. I was like, dang, what was that, bro?
Hey, all right.
Black cat kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. Good clip. Doing it for the clips. All right. We'll wrap it up. Thank you, listener, for downloading this in your podcatcher. Shard it up. That's how we find out. That's how other people find out about the show. That's how we find out you liked it. And then join us over in the Discord, patreon.com/shoptalkshow. And Chris, you got anything else you'd like to say?
Oh, not really. Let's go. I'm walking out the door going camping. Goodbye, Internet. See you later. Bye.
Hey, I'm Matt. I'm from Perth, Western Australia, and I build websites. Join me in the Shop Talk Show Discord at patreon.com/Shop Talk Show.